What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to TD Fans Talk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. Listen, we have the AFC East Roundtable. This is going to be a great one tonight. We got the homie Dan Mitchell. We got Master at Works and Richie, Jets Media in the building. This has been one of the most anticipated shows because why? Because I'll just wait for the show. To fill you guys in. But listen, y'all make sure y'all hit the like button. All right. Y'all know YouTube not sending the notifications right now. So punch the like button so we can get over 300 people in here and maybe more. All right. So punch that like button right now. All right. Now, listen, we're going to go around the table real quick. We're going to just allow the gentlemen to introduce themselves while people come on in the room. It's on you, Dan.
Yo, what is going on, everybody? As you know, I'm Dan Mitchell. The Buffalo Bills are looking fantastic as far as the training camp situation is concerned. Very much looking forward to our first preseason game. And I am even more so looking forward to today's AFC's Roundtable. Let's do it up.
What's up, Tyson?
Yo, what's going on? Y'all know this is Master at Work. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. And, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Richie, what you got, man?
What's good, boys? I missed you guys for a week. I know that you guys had Ryan from Jets Talk 24/7 represent the Jets last week. If there's any other Jets content creator out there to replace me for a week, it is that man right there. Ryan did a phenomenal job. I'm glad that he was representing us. I'm excited to talk Jets football. It's been a while. Jets' first preseason game is Saturday against the Giants. We've got a lot to talk about Jets training camp, and it's everything I expected going in, to be honest. So I'm excited to talk football with you boys.
And y'all already know this is TD from TD Fans Talk, rocking with the AFC East right now. Richie, man, you're looking fresh, man. You got the green and white going. Fit it up. I see you, man. I see you. Look like your team got energy all of a sudden, man.
Okay, I see you, TD. Appreciate that.
Special shout out to Dougley Durong, DDW, for holding it down last week. Did a phenomenal job, man. Hope to see him on again soon. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to dive in. We're going to go ahead and get to the topics, but make sure that you hit that like button, all right? We got 150 people watching, less than 100 likes. Get 150 likes so we can get it up. All right, guys, listen. I got some questions for y'all. And Master Works, I think it might be a feedback. But I got some questions for y'all. And I want to go around the table, and I want to start out with the Buffalo Bills. Dan Mitchell, man. First of all, how are you loving your new starting quarterback, Mitchell Trubisky, man?
Oh, man. Mitchell Trubisky. Okay, honestly, I was definitely anticipating a different question to start off. But and so as far as Mitchell Trubisky is concerned, I'm actually very excited to see him play on Friday night, 7 p.m., because they just ended up announcing that Josh Allen is not going to be able to be starting that entire game, which I am entirely fine with, especially since this first preseason game is going to be with the Buffalo Bills experimenting with different combinations of our offensive line. And I would much rather not Josh Allen be out there, a guy that we just ended up paying an absurd amount of money to, with an offensive line that is not going to be a sort of an NFL caliber starting offensive line for the most part.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, honestly, so I mean, like, there's like so many competitions between like certain offensive tackle positions. There's going to be a sort of the position battle between John Feliciano and Ike Bodiger. There's going to be a bunch of third and fourth string players that are going to be thrown into the mix. This first preseason game, we're not going to see a lot of our starters out there. So I would much rather not have Josh Allen be out there if we are not going to have our starting caliber offensive linemen out there. I don't want to risk any type of injury. As far as Mitch Trubisky is concerned, the only thing I want to see is average play. Honestly, that's the only thing I want to see, because God forbid that Josh Allen were to go down for some type of minor injury during the season. I want to see a quarterback that can at least be able to make plays and at least be able to allow our defense to carry him to wins if Josh Allen were to be out, knock on wood, 2 or 3 weeks out of the season. Really want to see Mitch Trubisky just to at least be able to play average, because regardless of how he plays, it is an upgrade from Matt Barkley of last year.
So you're 100% positive there's no quarterback controversy?
Definitely fucking not. Bro. Are you out of your mind? I mean, like we just ended up paying my dude a buku amount of money,
which is
I would say
ridiculous.
that would be a poor investment if that was not the case.
Well, we're gonna get on that in some point. But I will say it was a quality pickup, bro, because anytime you can have a quality backup who has all the starter experience you can ask for, who has done it, I actually say that helped the team in the event that your guy Josh Allen does go down. You definitely have a reliable backup. Now moving on to Mass That Works. When you talk about quarterbacks, man, Mac Jones, what's all this rumbling that he's probably going to be the starter week 1?
I've been trying to. Well, like I said, we'll find out tomorrow because we got a preseason game against Washington, and all this training camp thing, all this training camp noise is all good and well, but can he do it in the actual game? Cam Newton has been exactly what I thought he was. He's been horrible.
Wow.
And the fact that he's been like, he tries to get hyped up and everything, but Mac Jones is obviously outplaying him. I'm like I said, I hope that Mac Jones is the starter. I still have this inkling in my back of my mind where Mac Jones is going to have to be in quote special in these preseason games to get that starting job, just because Belichick is just not too fond of rookie quarterbacks, and he's getting he's getting a lot of reps. Cam Newton was frustrated a couple of days ago. He's not getting the reps that he thinks he deserves. Mac Jones is practicing with the ones. He's very accurate. He's deadly accurate. That's really not much else to say other than I need to see what Mac Jones can do in these preseason games. I don't think Cam Newton's going to play tomorrow. I don't know why. I mean, he needs to go out there and prove that he can play, which is good. I guess we could get to see Mac Jones in the first half. So, and like I said, he's been getting all the mostly all the reps so far. So, yeah, man.
So that's going to be interesting. So let me understand something. What is your confidence that Mac Jones will be the week 1 starter?
I'm at my confidence level, I want him to start. I mean, obviously, but as far as just like the team dynamics go, I would have to put it, since the game's tomorrow, I would have to put it right now at like around maybe 40%.
Wow.
But if he goes out there in these 3 preseason games and balls out and outplays Cam Newton, then Belichick's going to start him. He already said he's going to start the best player in every position, and quarterback is the most important position. So I believe that if Mac Jones can prove that, the only thing that like people are asking, does he have the leadership skills? He has the leadership skills. Like, the players around him, like the offensive line, they're all raving about him. Like our tight ends or whatever. Hunter Henry, even though he's going to be out until week 1, he's hurt, but he'll be back week 1. Like all our receivers, they're already raving about him. Like, he's cool as a cucumber. You know what I'm saying? They call him mac and cheese. I call him Machiavelli. Like, Cam Newton needs to be very worried. And he's already frustrated because they were asking him about it in the press conference. Is he frustrated with not getting the first team reps as much as Mac Jones is? And you know how Cam Newton is, trying to downplay everything. But yeah, man, Cam Newton's fighting for his job, and it's crazy too that I didn't think that Mac Jones would look this good this early on.
You don't think Belichick just loves Cam though? He has like a personal
it doesn't matter if he loves him or not. If he's going out there and performing and looking the same way he did last year, it doesn't matter what the hell Belichick thinks. If he's going out there losing us football games and he's not up to par, like the difference between Mac Jones and Cam Newton's night and day. Where yes, Cam Newton can throw some good balls, but he's not reading the defense quick enough, meaning he's not going through his reads faster than Mac Jones. And as a quarterback, we all know, especially in the Patriots offense, you got to be able to read to go through your reads very quickly, and the ball needs to be out of your hands within 5 seconds. Cam Newton just can't process that type of information fast enough where I think that he could be the starting quarterback. And if Cam Newton is the starting quarterback, I'm obviously going to back him until he proves otherwise. But I really believe that the quarterback position is going to be won in these preseason games, and I'm glad that we got 3 of them this season.
Wow, it's interesting, man. Keep an eye on that situation. Richie, man, I gotta come to you, man. I gotta ask you, bro. Do y'all have another Sam Darnold? Zach Wilson, man. It's a lot of negative coming out of New York right now. Talk to me, man.
Yeah, and I knew that question was coming. So I was at the first public training camp for the Jets, which was a week and a half ago, last Saturday and Monday. Those 2 practices, Zach Wilson looked unbelievable, and I was probably his 2 best practices of camp. Since those 2 practices, that's when he's been struggling. So it's interesting because when I saw him in person, he threw an 80-yard bomb to Elijah Moore. He was throwing the ball all over the place, and that was his second practice after signing his contract. And then ever since then, it's been a roller coaster, up and down. The media will make it seem like it's down, 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 negative, negative after negative. But if you actually research and talk and read the articles of what the journalists are saying, it's not all negative. It's ups and downs, bumps in the road. And that's natural when it comes to a rookie quarterback. And like people are coming at me like, yo, Zach Wilson, you guys see what's going on? Like, it's nothing I didn't expect. We're talking about a rookie quarterback here. I'm not expecting this rookie quarterback to come in and play with the ones against a crazy defensive front that the Jets have on defense and light it up every single practice. And if you guys heard what Zach Wilson said today, actually, in his press conference, it was very awesome to hear what he had to say. I think the question was something like, Zach, you've been struggling in practice. You've been throwing some interceptions or whatever. The question was, how do you, bounce back? And he said, well, I came into training camp wanting to adjust the NFL as fast as I can. And we're practicing right now. This is where I want to make the mistakes. I'm throwing the ball into places where I know, maybe I won't get away with it in practice, in a real game. He's maneuvering the practices right now to see what he can get away with and what he can't get away with. And that's really awesome that a guy like Zach Wilson said that, because that really puts me in perspective that he's using practice in training camp in a way where, okay, I'm in the NFL for the first time. I'm in training camp. I'm going to try to fit this ball in because it's practice. I can, if it's an interception, doesn't count. It's not a real game. And then he goes back into tape. He's like, okay, you know what? If this is a real game, that's a play that I should check down. I should not force that ball there. So he's using training camp to learn from his mistakes. What can I get away with? What can I get away with? Getting chemistry. So for everybody that's coming after me about Zach Wilson struggling, I knew that was going to happen going into camp. He's going to have really good days. He's going to have really bad days. And the bad days are going to be dramatized from the media, and his good days won't be, because that's just the natural of New York media. I've been a Jets fan, a Knicks fan, a Mets fan my entire life. I know how New York media works. That's nothing I'm too afraid of. But if I had to say, Zach Wilson's definitely isn't, lighting it up. I would prefer him to light it up. But am I concerned? Absolutely not.
So what are the struggles, though? What are the tangible things that he's, struggling in?
The thing that he's struggling in is not having any time. The reality of the Jets training camp is this Jets defensive line is absolutely dominating, especially Carl Lawson. Remember that name. Carl Lawson is going to break out and become a real edge rusher in the NFL. He had the same amount of quarterback hits as TJ Watt last year. The sack numbers weren't there. And every single NFL fans looks at sack numbers. If you don't have the sacks, you're not a good edge rusher. It's all about getting pressure on the quarterback and disrupting it. Carl Lawson signed a 3-year deal to the Jets, and he's going to prove to be a top edge rusher in the NFL. Not the best, but he's going to be in the conversation as a top 10 edge rusher in the NFL, and I have confidence in that. This Jets defensive line is legit. And Zach Wilson, the reality is he's not dealing with the pressure right. He's not getting the reads right. The pressure's in his face, and he gets rattled, and he doesn't know what to do with the ball. So it's good for Zach to get this practice because he's going up against a monster Jets defensive line, because that's the best position group we have on this team is the defensive line, and he gets to go up against that every single day. So I think that's really Zach's problem, because at BYU, he's never had to deal with this type of pressure. BYU had a very good offensive line, and they did not go up against a very good, competition. So Zach had a lot of time. So he's now adjusting to having a guy like Carl Lawson and Sheldon Rankins and Jonathan Franklin Myers and these guys down his throat within 2 seconds, and he's not used to it. So that's the biggest, concern with me with Zach Wilson that I even had going when we drafted him. Can he handle NFL pressure? Because that's what's going to make or break his career in the NFL, because he did not show that as much as we wanted to in his college tape.
Man, Richie. I will say this, man. Y'all can't afford to miss on this one, but time will tell. Time will tell. I've heard from you three guys. I'm gonna say a little bit about Miami real quick before I come back to Dan. Listen, y'all. It's Tua time, baby. Tua has turned the corner. Tua, I know y'all hear the reports. You hear them all over ESPN and everywhere. What do you make of Tua improving and just lighting it up? I've been to 5 practices so far, and I'm going to another 3 next week. Man, I'm telling y'all, this kid, y'all know I'm one of the most, if you watch the channel, you know I'm one of the most critical of Tua Tagovailoa. He has impressed me, and I know that he is probably going to have the Josh Allen year 3 jump in year 2, even though Josh Allen is a bum. But he's going to have that jump in year 2 in this defense, and we go into the Super Bowl, and we going to win the AFC East.
See, this is why we need Dudley in here, bro. Dudley, where you at, bro?
Hey, you can say whatever you want. That's what's going to happen. I'm telling you. Tua is lighting it up in camp. Tua has corrected a lot of his issues. Right now, the only thing that this kid needs to work on is not holding on to the ball too long, but that accuracy is there. His mobility is there. His arm strength is looking so much better, and he's making plays, throwing dimes, and just ripping it. Red zone, open field, everything. I'm telling y'all, AFC East. The Miami Dolphins are about to own the AFC East, all right? End of freaking discussion, all right? Now, I got more later, but I gotta go back to Dan Mitchell, man. We talked about it briefly last week, bro, but I need to hear from you yourself, man. How you feeling? You know, the team moving to Austin and everything. You know, you paid your new quarterback. You know, he got that Austin money now, bigger in Texas, right?
Got that Austin money. Okay.
So what's going on with – how do you really truly feel about Josh Allen's contract and this whole Austin thing? Because I know a lot of Bills fans are brushing off the Austin stuff, but it is actually realer than people think because the state and the city have already legitimately come out and say they are not footing any money. And yet they have bids from other cities and they have lucrative bids that will pay for the entire stadium.
Yeah.
And so what do you think about the stadium situation in all seriousness? I know as a Bills fan, it'll never happen for y'all, but it is a serious situation.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. So first off, we will address the whole Austin situation. So, so when it comes down into the Bills, as far as their stadium situation is concerned. So the Pagulas ended up going on ahead. And as soon as when news broke, everybody started making a bunch of narratives saying, oh, they're going to go to Austin. They're not going to go to Austin. And it just came out an actual statement from the Pagulas and Erie County saying that the Buffalo Bills were not leaving. Number 2, when it comes down into a team relocating into a different city, it requires every single owner in the NFL to vote on that. Mm-hmm. And if you think that Jerry Jones is going to allow anybody to go into the state of Texas and potentially take away from the most valuable franchise in the NFL
in the world,
Jerry Jones is not going to allow a team to be in the state of Texas. Now, I'm not saying that it is impossible for the Bills to leave Buffalo. It is not, but to the state of Texas, it is clearly just impossible. As long as Jerry Jones is alive, he is not going to allow that to happen. It's going to be a big voted no. But as far as the Pagulas are concerned, they are just way too invested in the city of Buffalo for it to make sense, right? They own the Sabres, they own the Bills, they own a tremendous amount of real estate, a bunch of other investments. It wouldn't make sense from a business side of things. I am not concerned that the Bills are going to leave whatsoever. As far as having the taxpayers pay it, that's just the first step of negotiations. I mean, several stadiums, several organizations are either fully or partially funded by the taxpayers. The Green Bay Packers, for example, they are 100% funded by the taxpayers. The Dallas Cowboys, I'm pretty sure, is funded at least by like 25 to 30% of the taxpayers from like that area. So I do see the Bills staying in Buffalo, potentially building a stadium right across the street from where they currently are, right in a very popular tailgate lot called the Hammer Lot. So as far as the Bills leaving, not concerned about it whatsoever. Say that they do, then I mean, we have like a solid another 5 or 6 years for us to fucking raise a Lombardi and have a hell of a send-off party. So regardless, I'm completely fine with it. Anyway.
See you in Austin,
yeah, well, I mean, okay. So as far as Josh Allen's contract is concerned, this is going to be something that is going to be a controversial take, I would say, to many Bills fans, actually. I think we should have waited. And so I think we should have waited until next year. Because honestly, as far as seeing a full year of elite football, we only saw 1 year of elite football.
Okay.
1 year of elite football. I would have waited until next offseason. But then again, it's a double-edged sword. If Josh Allen were to go ahead and put up the exact same numbers as he did last year, this year, he would have been significantly more expensive. There would have been a lot of teams that have been willing to give him a lot more money, and then there may have been some type of controversy from a contract side of things. So I would say that I'm a bit perplexed. I mean, I suppose that like I'm happy that Brandon Beane ended up structuring his contract the way that he did. Because essentially, I mean, he's still getting paid the exact same way that he would have been with his rookie contract for the next 2 years, which is essentially the Buffalo Bills Super Bowl window. His real money is not going to start kicking in until 2023.
Yep.
From that perspective. And when it comes down to it, that can always be restructured into signing bonuses. So we can go on ahead and like get other players going for that. But so I'm really perplexed, to be honest with you. Like, I mean, like I would have waited for next offseason to give him this type of contract. But at the end of the day, it's really not going to affect us financially until 2023, 2 seasons from now. So at the end of the day, I can sleep okay at night knowing that we gave him this type of deal because it's not going to affect us for a couple of years. And as long as we raise a Lombardi either this year or the following year, I'm completely fine.
I agree with that, and that was actually a unbiased take, actually shocking from you. I was shocked when you said, based off of 1 year performance, because that is a true statement. But at the same token, I believe if a quarterback shows it like that 1 year, you're good. But I will say you're right. 2023 is the year it all falls apart to me. You got a 2 year window.
Yeah.
You have a 2 year window, and what you want to do is win a Super Bowl in those 2 years so that you can get the cachet to get certain veterans to come sign for a lower price starting in 2023. That's usually the name of the game. But if y'all don't win in the next 2 years, which you won't because we're in a division, then y'all are screwed, Dan. You're screwed. The man will be getting 40, 41, and then 51. And even a restructure does nothing but mean you're getting screwed even more down the long term. You gotta do it in the next 2 years.
Exactly. And this makes Brandon Beane's job even harder. Our GM, he needs to hit on every single draft pick from now on for the next 6 years. He needs to hit on every single one so we can get some cheap labor and still be able to make our team a contender for going through that. So, I mean, I'm very interested to see right now. I'm just a very short-term thinker. And I'm just looking at this year and 2022 and for us to make the moves that need to be made.
Wow. Well, time will always tell, man. I got to go to your master at works real quick, man, because we need to know what is the official latest on Stephon Gilmore. What is going on?
He's at camp. He's his last year of his contract, and he's going to play. I mean, I don't know. There's really nothing else to say.
So there's no
he's
issues.
He's an unrestricted free agent after the season. We're not giving him a new deal. We're not trading him. End of story. There's nothing. There's nothing else to say.
He's not holding out or anything.
No, he's not holding out. There's no reason he can't afford to hold out.
So that's
because he has a year where he's seeking a new contract for next season, like a 3-4 year deal. if he doesn't play this season, let's say hypothetically, right?
Mm-hmm.
He holds out. Okay, you just skipped a whole year of football. Now you want a new contract. Haven't played for, like, it doesn't make any sense. He has to play because he's playing for a contract. We're not giving him a new one because, like I said, he's getting up there in age now. I think the best year of Gilmore's are gone. I think he maybe has one more elite year, kind of like what Revis did. He had one more great year with us. Jets signed him to a overpaid contract, and he was a bum. I think that's what we do here. He's on a prove-it deal, and he's going to have to play his best. So I think we're going to get the best of Gilmore, and then whatever dumbass team decides to shove him Revis money, he's going to go over there and get fat and get paid, and then he can go off into the sunset until he enters the Hall of Fame in Patriots colors, holding up a Lombardi trophy. Like, there's nothing else to say about Gilmore. We're not trading him because we need him. We need like the whole crux of our defense depends on our secondary and our linebacking core. Gilmore, J.C. Jackson, Hightower, and the linebackers, and the safeties. Like, we can't afford to get rid of them. And even if we do get rid of them, like, what are we going to get rid of them for? Is the team going to give us a first-round pick for a one-year rental? I don't think so. I don't know if any team would be dumb enough to do that. We're not giving it up for a second-round pick. That would be stupid. Unless somebody wants to trade us Gilmore. The only way I'll give up Gilmore is if you give us a top five receiver. I'll do that. Give us an OBJ. I'll give him to Cleveland for Odell Beckham. I'll take that deal. Other than that, he's not going
Michael
anywhere.
Thomas?
Huh?
Michael Thomas?
I'll take Michael Thomas too. I'll trade Gilmore for Michael Thomas straight up because we already got J.C. Jackson. You know what I mean?
Well,
so,
true. Well,
we're in a luxury of having two elite cornerbacks. That's a luxury. It's not a need. Getting rid of Gilmore and we can get a top 5, top 10 receiver back, that completely changes our offense now because we don't got to rely on the 2 tight end set as much because, like I said, we don't have the best receiving core, not even top 25 in my opinion. Nelson Aguilar, I mean, he's coming off a great year with the Raiders, but we don't know what he's going to be like this year. Jacoby Myers is actually doing really good in camp. N'Keal Harry's doing what N'Keal Harry does. He's a bum, but he's showing off in training camp. Like he's somebody. We all know when the games start coming around, he's going to go back to can't get off the line of scrimmage in time, can't run routes, dropping balls. He's going to be way down in the depth chart. So, like I said, man, you want Gilmore? Give us a top 10, top 5. I don't even take top 5. Give us a top 10 receiver. You can have Gilmore.
Well, we got Jakeem Grant, man.
What'd you say?
We got Jakeem Grant and Isaiah Ford. You know.
No. You guys have one of the low. No, the only receiver. Give us Waddle. Give us Waddle. We already know he wants to play with Mac Jones anyway. So give us Waddle. We'll give you Gilmore.
Oh, that was a shot. Listen, man. I'm gonna come to you, Richie, because I ain't gonna let Matt Say Words get started on that one. Richie, man, what is this story with Denzel Mims losing 20 pounds due to eating salmon? Like he got food poisoning. And can he play? Like, is he okay?
Yeah, that actually just came out. That happened in May. So he lost 20 pounds. He had bad salmon, had food poisoning. And I remember when he showed up to OTAs, he wasn't participating in OTAs, and all Jets fans were like, why isn't he there? And it's like non-football related injury. And we're like, what's going on with Denzel? We don't know what's good with him. And then he did not participate in OTAs as much. He just did walkthroughs, no really drills. And then training camp, he started, off a little slow. He's not running with the ones. He's subbing in and out. And then we find out, like, I think it was either yesterday or today, why this whole thing happened. And it was like, all Jets fans are trying to find out the truth. And we finally comes out that Denzel had to go through a little adversity. He had some bad salmon, and he has not had salmon since. And that's a Jets receiver that we're expecting big things from. The Jets beat team, they dramatize who's running with the 1s, 2s, and 3s way too much. For somebody that's been to Jets training camp and firsthand, everybody plays with the 1s, 2s, and 3s. Like, The Corey Davis runs with the backup quarterback. Like Zach Wilson goes with the second team. Like everybody's going in and out. So any Jets fan that reads too much into who's playing with 1s, 2s, and 3s, don't read too much into that. It's all by committee approach. But yeah, it's definitely a funny story coming out of Jets training camp about Denzel. But luckily he's back in shape. His mind and body is where it should be right now, and he should be ready to go for preseason on Saturday and the regular season.
Hey, real quick, Richie. Well, first of all, is he even going to make the team, or are they going to?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but a lot of people are talking about they.
Yeah, a lot of people, the media, right?
Okay, so you like him, you believe in him.
Oh, 100%. I feel like he is the prototypical receiver that you want on the outside. I feel like he is somebody that is a mismatch nightmare. And the only thing that, some people say about it is, oh, he's not a scheme fit. He was drafted for the Adam Gase scheme, and now we're in a scheme where the wide receiver needs to be a guy that can create separation, that can be a yards after the catch type of receiver. And that's not Denzel Mims. Denzel Mims is not the greatest route runner, but what makes Denzel Mims special is his ability to go up and make that one-on-one catch in traffic, work the sidelines, red zone threat. He can contort his body. His catch radius is ridiculous. So that's what some people feel like he's not going to fit the scheme, but I think that's a whole lot of bogus. He is going to make this roster. He's going to make an impact this season. He's going to be making plays all over the place. He had a very good practice today, had 2 touchdowns. So all that stuff you're reading online, it's all just media trying to get clickbait articles as usual. What else is new with the Jets? I honestly, like, from a Jets fan, like, I'm not saying this as being a biased Mims fan. Like, he's not getting cut. He's not getting traded.
So what about is this clickbait too? The Jets interested in CJ Henderson?
Yeah, I mean, the cornerback position is easily the inexperienced group of the New York Jets. We have our CB1 right now is our second-year guy, a 5th-round pick last year, and Bryce Hall, who was supposed to be a 2nd-round pick, but due to injuries, he fell in the draft, whatever. And then we have Bless Austin, and then everybody else are rookies. So the cornerbacks is a group that I'm excited for because they're so young and they're so hungry. And I feel like Robert Saleh wants to develop the secondary, and we're relying on this front 7 to help make their jobs a lot easier. So we're going to be in the cornerback market. I feel like this Jets offseason, as we know, the Jets are coming off a 2-win season, and they're the worst, if second to worst, team in the NFL last year. So there's a lot of holes to fill. Joe Douglas cannot, fill in every single hole in one offseason. I feel like this offseason coming up after this year, it's going to be all about the cornerbacks, all about the tight ends, because this past offseason, it was all about the wide receivers and protection, and then he's going to go in the corners and tight ends. I feel like the trade market and the waiver wire, it's going to be Joe Douglas is going to be in on the phone with CJ Henderson and the Jacksonville Jaguars. I feel like that's definitely a conversation you have to have. A top 10 pick last year. I know that he's battling some mental issues right now. I don't know why they want to trade him or why he wants out. There has to be some underlying issue. But the one thing I will say about Joe Douglas's Jets, and he's only been the GM for 2 years, less than 2 years actually. The one thing that is a common thread with him is he drafts and signs guys with high character. He's not going to bring somebody in that's going to detriment the locker room. He believes that if you have the mindset and the will to be great, it doesn't matter how physically gifted you are. The mind is better than the body. And I feel like that's what this culture is trying to brew under Robert Saleh and Douglas. And if CJ Henderson has all the physical talent in the world, but his mind's not there, I wouldn't want him on the Jets. I'd rather have somebody that has that mental makeup to have that, desire to be great than someone that's physically gifted and they don't really do anything with it. I feel like every single NFL player is physically talented, but what separates the great and the good is the mentality.
Man, oh man, I just remember those days, man. Just like the Jets, man, talking about all these different issues and the media driving the narrative, and it's not really that way.
The media continues to drive the narrative. Now I'm like part of the media. I mean, my name is Jets Media.
Exactly.
So it's fun. I love seeing all these clickbait articles. I laugh at them now. Back when I was a little younger, I would get in on it and be like, oh my God, like get a little anxiety. But now it's like I understand it so much where I'm like, all right, just another guy just completely like making
blowing
up
something out of proportion.
Like something that's a little sparkle they have to dramatize just to get clicks. Because as we know, the journalists, if the more people clicking on their articles, the more people, retweeting them and liking them, the better they get paid, the better their exposure is. So that's what it's all reality. We all know the reality of the NFL media, and the Jets are that one team where we've been the clown of the NFL for a while. We've always been bad. So if there's any ounce of little dysfunction, they're going to dramatize it because it makes you guys in the chat, all Dolphins, Bills, and Patriots fans in particular, because you're our rivals, love the Jets. Jets for clicks. You love laughing at us because we've been dysfunctional, the butt fumble to this and that. It's been a common thread forever. And I'm excited I'm hopeful for that narrative to finally, die away. Not this season. I think it's still going to be here because we have a rookie quarterback and such a young team where we're going to have a game where Zach looks terrible and everyone's going to be talking about it. And it's going to be a big deal, but I'm prepared for it. I'm mentally prepared.
As long as his first pass in the NFL isn't a pick six like Sam Darnold on Monday Night Football.
That's true, man.
And as long as he doesn't start seeing ghosts, all right, like Josh Allen's going to do this year. But,
Zero.
But guys, listen, I got to make another bold statement. The Miami Dolphins are going to have the #1 defense in the NFL this year. Xavier Howard has been locked down. Our rookie Javon Holland is just getting picks every day, intercepting the ball. Our front seven is lethal. We finally can stop the run game. We finally can get to the quarterback without blitzing. Our defense is going to be the #1 defense in the NFL, and Josh Allen, Mac Jones, and Cam Newton. Mac Jones, hopefully, not Mac Jones, but Zach Wilson, hopefully, and Mitchell Trubisky when he take over for Josh Allen, they're gonna have to deal with it. Our defense will be the #1 defense in the NFL. No defense will be better. Nobody has a better defense than us. I said it here. I said it first. Point, period, blank, man. Now, I just want to go around real quick and ask everybody the same question. What is your biggest fear with your team this year? In other words, what is the biggest area of concern for you that can hurt your aspirations this season? Let's start with Dan.
All right. So my biggest fear is hands down, can we address our pass rush? Can we bring pressure on the quarterback? Because I would say last year that was probably going to be our biggest issue throughout the entire team. As far as not having a true tight end, not having a wide receiver, no. And so not having a tight end, excuse me. That's something that we can get by due to the fact that we have a solid wide receiver room and a very talented quarterback. We're fine with that. The pass rush is the biggest issue. And this offseason, we invested heavily on this. We ended up spending our first and second pick in the draft on the exact same position within the defensive end. So what makes me optimistic is the fact that we finally have our true one-tech defensive tackle, Star Lutulele, coming back, who is going to be able to take on those double teams and not allow offensive linemen to get into the second level and sort of stop our linebackers, such as sort of Edmonds, from being able to do exactly what he can do. We need a pass rush tremendously, and I'm hoping that the investments that we made during this offseason will pay off. I would say my biggest fear is the fact that we have not addressed our pass rush at all, and we completely swung and missed on our draft picks, and we are in our exact same situation from there. Because if we don't have a pass rush, then our secondary, which in my opinion is one of the most longevity secondaries in the entire league. They've been together since 2018. And so between Poyer, Hyde, and same with Trey White, and then same with Levi Wallace, they cannot do their jobs unless our front seven are doing their jobs. And it all comes down to the pass rush. So I would probably have to say that would be my biggest concern going into it. But I am confident in my front office that we have ended up addressing that issue. And we are going to see the 2018 and 2019 Buffalo Bills defense coupled with the Buffalo Bills 2020 offense this year, leading us all the way to raising the fucking Lombardi, baby.
Dan, you know good and well y'all defense didn't get better. Stop that mess, man.
Oh man, we will.
You know good and well y'all
just said that I'm waiting to see if our pass rush.
He's being hopeful as a Bills fan.
I'm being hopeful.
He's being
He ain't allowed. He's not allowed to be hopeful. Them bums trash, man. I can't
the right
stand Buffalo.
17-0.
That's right, Richie. I can't stand Buffalo. That's why. Can't stand them bums. Master at Works, talk to me, man. What's your biggest concern?
First of all, I want to thank TD for that delusional take earlier, so I can clip him in my videos this season, having the number one defense when you gave up 50+ points last year to get into the playoffs. But that being said, thank you, TD. You will definitely be a star of my show this season again. Now I'm making you look like the fool like I did last season. Getting on to my team, obviously the biggest concern is quarterback. I mean, there's no other concern that I have other than who's going to be our starting quarterback, and it's the most important position, obviously, on the field. I was a huge Cam Newton supporter last season, as we all know. Cam can. But like I said, receivers, obviously, also I'm really worried about the receiver position because we really don't have any good receivers. Like I said, I need to see what Nelson Aguilar does, Jacoby Myers, if he's going to make that next step. I'm not worried about Nick Harry. He most likely will get cut, even though he's having a crazy training camp. But it really just comes down to the quarterback. It is because, like I said, I'm not worried about our defense. We're going to have a top 5 defense. And like I said, most of our players are coming back from COVID opt-outs from last season anyway. So we're going to have a lot of depth on that defensive. We actually upgraded too on the pass rush. So, like I said, not Jonnu Smith, but what's his name? Pass rusher from Baltimore, whatever. He's going to definitely get really take the quarterback to task this season, I believe. Other than that, man, like I said, we beefed up our defensive line in the draft. I'm not really worried about the defense. It's really just comes down to the quarterback position. Is Mac Jones ready to take over for Cam Newton or not? That's pretty much it.
Trouble. Patriots, man. That has to actually be nerve-wracking. I don't know how you feel about that. I keep
getting Matthew Judon and Jonnu Smith mixed up because they got to say, it's hard for me to – because, like I said, we just got so many new players. We spent over $120 million in free agency. And I want to say one more thing as far as the Josh Allen contract goes. The Bills actually got him on it cheap. Because in the next few years, a TV deal is going to set in. And a lot of these players, like you say, all the Patriots spend all this money. If you looking forward to it, a lot of these, there's going to be some crazy-ass contracts coming up for a lot of these players. So I honestly believe that the Bills actually got Josh Allen on the real cheap. And that was a good-ass contract. Because had he waited until next season, when the TV deals start kicking in and all this new money starts rolling in, that contract that Josh Allen got could skyrocket to another $80 million. So the Bills did the right thing by signing him. And like I said, the Patriots did the right thing too with paying all this money in free agency this year because a lot of teams are not going to be able to afford what we put out this season in offseason because all these players are going to want money and because of inflation and all these TV deals are going to come in. So I believe that the Bills did a great job and go ahead and getting that Josh Allen contract out the way and not having to sit on it for another year. Because what happens if he outperforms what he did last season? Then you're looking at now what are we going to do? We're going to have to give him more money. You know what I mean? So looking at it from an unbiased standpoint, the Bills front office did an amazing job with that contract. This is my opinion.
Trash.
Damn right.
Trash. You know it's trash. You know what, man? Say, well, you got to stop pandering to these bums, man.
I'm not pandering, bro. Listen,
you hate the Dolphins so much.
You should have saw me last week. I was literally talking about the Bills moving to Austin and how I already got ownership of the subreddit.
Richie, you better be honest, Richie. You notice it yourself. Ever since the Patriots started sucking, he started holding on to Dan Mitchell.
Wait, hold on. I got one more thing.
Deals.
The Patriots also have the best offensive line in football. That's another thing. We can protect our quarterback. The question is, TD. The question is, TD, you still walking and running around here with a makeshift offensive line like you still got Ryan Tannehill in the center. Y'all really gonna protect Tua with that makeshift offensive line? And I looked at your depth chart and I've seen the scouting reports. What's up with your offensive line, bro?
We're just fine. We were young last year.
Okay.
We're growing. You just worry about for the first.
And you're using that, and your fan base is gonna use that as the scapegoat when Tua turns the ball over about 20 times this season.
Oh my gosh!
It's the offensive line. We can't protect Tua. It's unfair. The same excuses y'all made with Ryan Tannehill.
About the first week. That's all you need to worry about. Week 1 when we destroy y'all. That's the only thing
like
you
last
need to
year,
worry
week
about.
1.
Can you please decide which quarterback we gonna destroy?
We'll find out. We're gonna find out.
Yeah, then don't talk to me about my own line if you don't even know who yours gonna protect.
At least we got an offensive line.
I don't want to hear it, man. Richie, man, what's your biggest concern? That's that work get me worked up, man.
Oh man, I love it. Don't you guys love TD and Master going at it? That's why you guys come here every single Wednesday night. But yeah, let's go with the Jets. The biggest concern I think is honestly the offense, not a specific position, but the entire offense. Simply because we are extremely young. We have a first-year offensive coordinator who's 34 years old, and Mike LaFleur, the younger brother of head coach Matt LaFleur. We have a rookie quarterback. We have a second-year left tackle, Mekhi Becton. We have a rookie left guard. We have a rookie wide receiver, a rookie running back. The offense is going to take a long time this season to really start getting comfortable. They just threw the entire playbook at them for the first time. They give them all the sets they needed in the scrimmage on Saturday. The defense in training camp has been dominating the offense. Like, it's been pretty bad. And that's expected. I feel like defenses, they always had that upper edge in training camp for the Jets, especially with this, we have a defensive-minded head coach in Robert Saleh. The defense is always going to be ahead, especially with Zach Wilson not signing his contract, so we missed 2 days of practice. But my biggest concern is, can this offense really, just be somewhat competent? I have confidence it will, but, just thinking of how young this team is and how inexperienced this entire squad is, this year is going to be the year where they need to learn from each other, build chemistry within each other, understand the coaches. Zach Wilson needs to understand how to reading NFL defenses. There's so much that goes into it, because this year for the New York Jets is not the year to go all in and win the division. I understand that. This is not the year for the Jets to exceed expectations and win 10 games. I understand that. Everybody in the chat telling me, oh, Jets going 1-15, Jets going 2 in this. Like, you're pushing my buttons. I understand where this Jets team is. I'm not unrealistic. I'm not expecting them to light it up. All I want to see is from this offense is to prove that this season is the year for growth, where in next year, like, I'm thinking long-term with the Jets. Like, I understand that they have a long-term plan. Not saying I do not want them to win games now, but I understand this offense is going to take a lot of time for them to gel together with all these young guys around there. Now, we do have solid veterans on the team like Corey Davis. We signed Morgan Moses, who was a very good right tackle. But the tight end position is up for grabs. We do not have a tight end one on the roster. The running back room is very deep, but there's not really that true number one running back. I feel like Michael Carter is going to step up and be a beast. But the one thing I will say about this offense, and this is a bold prediction, this is where the Jets fandom hat comes on, right? Elijah Moore, wide receiver Elijah Moore. He is going to be a very, very good player in the NFL. And I really believe that. I saw him with my own eyes. Every single practice, he is making plays where it's not just a normal play. He was a second-round pick, 34th overall. I expect him to go in the first round. A.J. Brown, his Ole Miss teammate, he said in a podcast yesterday, I'll bet every single game check that Elijah Moore wins Offensive Rookie of the Year. Now, I'm not going that far. I'm not saying he's going to win Rookie of the Year. But Elijah Moore is going to be a really good player in the NFL. So I want to end it off with that. But I know that this offense is definitely going to have some ups and downs this year, and I'm ready for it.
I love Elijah Moore. I'll tell you that now. Listen, the Miami Dolphins' biggest area of concern or our biggest weakness is our division. We got 6 games where we play scrubs.
Oh, you scared, man.
And we need competition to help prepare us for the Super Bowl. So that's our biggest concern and our biggest weakness are these scrubs, these bums, these sorry opponents we gonna play and go 6-0. But no, our biggest concern.
Did the same thing last year.
Whatever. Hey, we kicked y'all behind late in the season, but anyway.
Yeah. Congratulations, getting to the playoffs.
Our true biggest concern, I will say, is our run game. I think that's our biggest concern right now because we didn't prove it last year. We had to do it by committee and out of the halfback draw pretty much. And we haven't really proved it much this year. I think Miami's going to flip the switch. Instead of running the ball to open up the throw, I think they're going to be throwing the ball to open up the run. Tua's looking a lot better. I say give him the keys, let him drive, and open the run that way. So it just depends on the fronts that we go against. Our run game is our biggest concern. Our defense is just so legit. Our wide receiver core is just stacked. Our quarterback's playing good football. Run game. That's our biggest concern going into the season. Real quick, because I know we're running out of time. Guys, tell us about your preseason week. I know we could start with Dan, and Josh Allen already scared of the pressure, ain't going to be playing. So tell us about your preseason week before we get out of here, guys.
All right. So I am going to be streaming my live game reaction. I know Dolphins fans love trolling my live game reactions, so definitely be in at 7 p.m. EST. Friday night when the Bills play the Detroit Lions. I am very excited to see how our rookies play against the Lions starters, because the Lions are apparently playing the entire first quarter and the Bills are not playing their starters whatsoever. So, I mean, I'm going to be very excited about that. I'm going to be streaming my live reaction. So definitely tune in. Feel free to talk shit or just come watch the game with me. Just grab a nice little 6-pack and
we'll be there.
go from there. Oh, you'll be there for sure.
Oh, man. My bad. Go ahead, man. Say
the camera guy,
by the way.
what happened?
Oh,
Taylor?
lady, washed up,
Who's
no
Joy?
names tomorrow.
the girl.
The Mac Jones era begins tomorrow. I finally get to see a real quarterback in action after a full season of absolutely just trash. I'm happy to see Mac Jones in his first appearance going on the field. From what I've been hearing, he's going to play the whole first half with the ones. So that's also
good.
great. I don't think Cam Newton's going to play at all, which is hilarious to me because they're really, really they're trying to hide Cam Newton's flaws so bad. They're even afraid to put him out in preseason. He's so trash. But yeah, Mac Jones, Machiavelli is going to show his ass tomorrow, man. I'm looking at 3 touchdowns, 300 yards. You know what I'm saying? The best quarterback in the AFC East debuts tomorrow. I just can't wait, man.
Tua don't play tomorrow.
Hmm?
Tua doesn't play tomorrow.
Tua turned the ball over.
Listen, man, you know what? Real quick, before I go to you, Richie, man, Master Words, you got to stop the flip-flopping, bro. I still never forget.
Flip-flopping? How am I
That's
flip-flopping
right.
on
Yes,
Tua?
you is.
Oh, here we go. Buckle up.
Last year, around this time, you were talking about how trash Cam was. Then after y'all get the first win against
Because
us,
he showed he was trash.
No. Then y'all get a win
You
against
talking
us.
about flip-flopping?
Cam gonna
King
take us.
flip-flopper.
Cam is gonna take us this year. Then by
Wasn't
week
it just a
5,
couple weeks ago you were clamming for Deshaun Watson, and now all Tua's looking so great in camp because Brian Flores whispered in the defense's ears, "Listen, you're making Tua turn the ball over look bad. Just at least make it seem like we did a good pick." Y'all literally drafted him over Justin Herbert. You should be ashamed of yourself. Go get Deshaun Watson. Maybe he can massage away your playoff L's.
Right there with Robert Kraft.
Put you in the playoffs.
Right there with Robert Kraft. And listen, man, you a flip-flopper. First Cam trash, then he's great, then he's trash again, then he's
Well,
great.
I've never flip-flopped on Cam. Listen, we got him last season when I thought he was going to be great. He turned out to be trash. And ever since then, I have never said that Cam Newton was great after that.
Hey, listen, all you need to know is your team trash in a discussion.
Let me ask you a question, right? The last time we seen Tua, he threw 3 picks in a game where they had to get into the playoffs. Why are you and you were mad and now you're flip-flopping again? Now you're saying Tua's looking so great in camp. Can we see him in a couple more regular season games?
He was a rookie. Now he's about to light the league up, and you're going to be the first.
Justin Herbert was a rookie, and he lit it up last year.
You and your team going to be the first victim of Tua. You're going to be the first victim.
I can't wait because I'm going to chop you up like chop suey.
I can't wait to week 1.
All those badass delusional takes. You're going to be the star of my show.
On our way to the Super Bowl, you are the first. I don't want to hear nothing out your mouth no more.
How about make the playoffs, bro? You haven't even won a division since 2008.
Tua getting 4 touchdowns on y'all trash team.
Was Barack Obama even in office the last time you guys went to playoffs?
Man, Richie, it's your turn. I'm done talking to this delusional guy, man.
Yeah, go ahead.
Master, how do I get featured on one of those videos? What do I got to say?
I mean, you're the Jets, bro. There's nothing else. There's nothing to say, bro. I mean, you're the Jets.
You're the team that you're gonna play this week. What you expect?
It's like kicking a dead dog, bro. It's not cool. I don't get no brownie points or punching a fat kid, bro.
That makes my point that I said earlier stand even more. I love it. So, what are we talking about? Preseason week 1. It's the annual Jets Giants, the MetLife Bowl. It's going to be exciting to finally see Zach Wilson out there and play some football. It's going to be interesting to see how many reps they get, how many drives the first team gets. I'm mostly excited to watch the Jets' young receivers and cornerbacks in particular. I'm excited to see Denzel Mims out there after getting food poisoning, see how he looks. And most in particular, I'm excited to see Elijah Moore, man, because I talked about Elijah Moore earlier, but this kid really looks different. Like, he separates himself when you see him in person. When I saw so much hype going into camp about him, and then when I saw him with my own eyes, it really lived up to the hype. So I'm excited for that. I'll be making a recap video on my channel as usual. And yeah, that's Saturday night against the New York Giants. So happens every year, Jets versus Giants. Unfortunately, we only get to verse them once every 4 years, but in the regular season. But yeah, I'm excited. And yeah, nothing really else I got to say about the preseason game, really. Yeah.
And the Dolphins were going to destroy the Bears. Their offense is trash. Their offensive line is super duper trash. So that's going to be an easy one for us. And listen, man, the Buffalo Bills are overrated. Everybody knows Josh Allen gave the blueprint in the AFC Championship. He gave everybody the blueprint how to just destroy him. That's why you shouldn't have gave him that contract early. Now you're going to pay for it because he about to start seeing ghosts. And the New England Patriots don't even know who their quarterback going to be.
Blueprints, though. And so here's the deal about blueprints is that you need to execute. And the Dolphins have failed to execute anything against Josh Allen.
We will. Don't worry about it.
Josh Allen's entire career, the Dolphins have failed to execute anything.
Well, we'll see this year. You just remember the bet.
Everywhere.
You just remember the bet, Dan. You just remember the bet. I'm not gonna tell everybody how you called me last week. Talk about let's get out of the bet, but I convinced you to stay in it. I'm not gonna tell everybody how you tried to back out of the bet. But it's all good.
That's all right, TD. I got a bet for you week 1. I ain't gonna say it yet, though.
Listen.
I gave you a handicap. Like you.
No, I don't want to hear it, bro. I don't really want to. I don't want to get into the bet because I just feel like we're gonna take a step backwards. But I'll never say that live. See, I'm calling you out now, man. Hey, Patriots trash. They don't even know who that quarterback is. And Richie, I always give you mercy because y'all still gonna suck for the next 20 years, man. I'm just calling it how it is, man. But hey, man,
we'll see about that one. I can't wait for you to start hating us.
We'll see. Any last words from any of you gentlemen except Master at Works? Is he too delusional?
No.
I told y'all I left him silent tonight. I left him silent.
I'm letting everyone else talk. You ain't left nobody silent.
Hey, I left you silent. You're gonna see week 1.
Me and Dan, we had so much peace last week talking to Dougie, bro. He was not delusional, spitting facts.
I gotta
deal with you again, bro.
I gotta talk to Doug. He let y'all off the hook last week. That's what it is. He let y'all off the hook. No.
We'll be on my channel next week, and I'm going to show you how Patriots fans get down.
Yeah,
that delusional crap ain't gonna cut it next week.
We'll see. I'll be there bright and early when we get there. When you see Tua throw for 8 touchdowns in preseason, baby, in 1 quarter.
I'll make sure to play that little clip from last season too, when Tua threw those 3 picks at the beginning of the show.
You a hater. That's all you want to do. Make sure you add Mac Jones. Make sure you add Mac Jones picks from this weekend that's coming up. All right?
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, this is the AFC East roundtable. You got TD Fins talking to 3 delusionals. Man, we out of here, man. Peace. We out of here, y'all.
Appreciate all the love and hate in the chat.
Dolphins haven't won a playoff game since 19.
Dolphins suck.
See, I haven't even ended the stream yet. I ain't in the stream because I just gotta let everybody know there is a 50% discount on Robert Kraft massages in New England.